YouTube, time to see what we got in the last few weeks at the flea market. Didn't get out there today. It was raining, unfortunately, and it's an outdoor market, so nobody sets up. But I did get some good stuff last week with my kid, so let's take a look. Let's start from left to right. All right. The first thing are precision tweezers. These are actually precision screwdrivers. These are Allen heads, and these are Phillips head, and the other one I think is just a regular flat. Not really very expensive, but they also came with a BlackBerry SLS1 battery, which is a rechargeable battery. Can use them for some kind of electronic project if you'd like. These are all, I believe, for working on electronics or taking something apart along the lines of a cell phone or a tablet. Like I said, magnetic tips, they actually seem to be fairly well made. Nothing you can't find on Amazon, but I think I paid $1 for all of this, so that's not too bad. These usually, you can find someone that wants these. I probably will use this for a project. It's nice to have a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, which I believe is what this is. It's lithium-ion. And it's, like I said, nice to have a rechargeable battery instead of just batteries that you use once and throw out. So I'm sure I could make use for it. Over here we have a CB radio, Kerber 25 Limited, Weather Classic. The WX, like I said, is Weather. So I actually keyed up. I'm on channel 13 right now, and I've got good output. It actually, apparently the guy said he had pulled it right out of his truck, so I actually had to hook it up to my power supply. But it does appear to work fairly well. Doesn't look like it's been peaked or tuned or modified in any way. It's a lot of these, when you get them, a lot of truckers tend to clip wires and do all kinds of funky things to get them to put out more power. Does have good weather.
Mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Lows in the lower 60s. Southeast winds around 5 miles an hour.
Okay, so for me that's good enough. This was, I think, $5. This was also $1. This is actually a Motorola GP68. This is actually, I believe this one is VHF. They make these in VHF and UHF. This one I think might be having some firmware issues. I got this for, I think, $3 or $4. It only has the 12-volt car cable and the car plug for it. He didn't have a regular battery for it. I know that these will operate for ham radio frequencies 144 to 148 megahertz, which I do have a license. Kilo Charlie 3 Golf Alpha X-Ray is my license number. I am a technician. I got it the other year, but I haven't used it too much, even with my mobile. And most of the portables I use are actually Baofangs, but this one I'm going to play with a little bit, see what I can do. See what we can find there. This is interesting. This is actually called an Iclops. This was a kid's toy, and they say it's a night vision goggles. They say they're night vision goggles. It's actually just an infrared viewer. If you look in there, it actually, if I turn the lights off, it actually lets you kind of see in the dark. This one is interesting. Like I said, it's just an infrared viewer. If you look on the top for the controls, on, off, on, off. If you look at the top, it actually, you can't really see it now. It actually has like a light, and what that does is that just shines a small infrared light right up here that projects out so you can see what you're doing a little bit better at like pitch black or in the dark. I played with this last night. I got to about 15 yards or 45 feet, and I couldn't see past that, so I'm pretty sure its use would be fairly limited. It's pretty low quality. I wouldn't expect it to be, it's something fun to play with, but I wouldn't expect it to be something you could use seriously. Maybe if you're looking for a groundhog or a raccoon in the middle of the night, something like that, or you just want to mess around and see what you can see at night. Again, for $1. He wasn't sure if it worked, so 4 AA batteries later, and I got a working unit. This one is actually kind of nice. This is actually a rain poncho. This is actually, I believe, Dakota outerwear, and it is ripstop nylon. It does actually have the hood. It does have the pulls for the hood, so you can tighten them. And this one actually has the grommets on them, so you can actually use this as a shelter if you wanted. Yeah, this has the grommets, and this also has the little buttons here, so that you can attach the you can attach if you get an Army surplus poncho liner. It'll take that. So it is truly milsurp. I don't like the camo pattern. My opinions of ponchos are kind of... they either work or they don't. If you're going to sit around and be stationary, it's fine. If you're going to be moving around and walking, namely with your arms, you tend to get water underneath the poncho, which kind of defeats the purpose of wearing one in the first place. I know a lot of guys that hunt, a lot of guys that do varmint and predator hunting, namely if they're out in the rain, they always have a poncho. And again, you know, it's a buck. I think I got my money's worth on it. Probably not going to use it a whole lot. Probably if it's raining in the summertime and I'm just taking the dog around the block. That's probably going to be the plan for that. But so that's my haul over the last, I forget the timeline, week and a half. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, good luck YouTube. Good luck hunting.